Stop killing your plants every winter. If you've been covering your sensitive outdoor greenery with synthetic, suffocating materials, you are making a big mistake. Many well-intentioned gardeners inadvertently harm their beloved plants. The crisp, cold air of winter brings a host of challenges. Our instinct is to shield our plants as best we can. However, the most common quick fixes are often the most damaging. We're showing natural, inexpensive ways to shield your plants. Welcome to Don't Do This Guide, where we help you avoid common gardening mistakes and help you grow like a pro. The allure of plastic sheeting as a winter plant cover is understandable. However, this seemingly simple solution is a dangerous trap for your plants. Plastic is non-permeable. It traps air and moisture. In frigid nights, cold air stagnates under plastic, offering little insulation. During daytime, sun quickly heats trapped air, creating a greenhouse effect. That greenhouse effect can scorch plants. Rapid swings from cold to hot are extremely stressful for plants. The moisture problem is equally serious. Condensation forms on the plastic. Droplets fall back onto leaves and stems. That constant dampness plus poor airflow breeds fungal diseases. It also creates rot and encourages mildew. Lack of fresh air prevents the plant from breathing and weakens it, making it more vulnerable to cold. It also makes the plant susceptible to opportunistic pests overwintering nearby. So what should you do instead? Use breathable materials. Old bed sheets, landscape fabric, burlap, special frost cloths. Mulch is the unsung hero protecting your plant's most vital part, their roots. A thick layer of organic mulch is an insulating blanket for soil. It regulates soil temperature, preventing repeated freezing and thawing, which can heave plants and break roots. The best materials are often free shredded autumn leaves, clean straw, pine needles, wood chips. Timing matters as much as material. Wait until after the first hard frost. Applying mulch too early traps warmth, prevents proper winter hardening, and confuses dormancy. Early mulch also creates a cozy resort for pests, voles, mice, other pests. Mulching steps are simple. First, clear weeds and debris from the plant base. Next, apply a generous layer of mulch. Aim for 3 to 6 inches depth. Spread mulch evenly over the root zone to the drip line. That thick layer traps air and buffers extreme temperature swings. Don't pile mulch against stems or trunks. Volcano mulching traps moisture at the bark, causes bark rot, fungal diseases, and invites boring insects. For many evergreens, young trees, and delicate shrubs, the biggest winter threats are not just the cold but also windburn and sunscald. Burlap is an ideal material to combat these issues. Its woven fibers make it strong. Its natural fibers make it breathable, offering a protective shield that does not suffocate the plant. Winter winds can be incredibly drying, stripping moisture from evergreen needles and broadleaf evergreen leaves faster than frozen roots can replace it. This results in brown, dead-looking foliage come spring. Burlap acts as a windbreak, deflecting harsh gales and preserving the plant's moisture. Sunscald is another serious winter danger, especially for young trees with thin bark. On a bright winter day, the sun can heat one side of the trunk. Then the bark temperature plummets when the sun sets or clouds over. Those rapid temperature swings cause the bark to crack and split, leaving wounds vulnerable to insects and disease. Wrapping the trunk with a layer or two of burlap moderate surface temperature reflects intense sunlight and prevents that freeze-thaw cycle. For shrubs, install 3 or 4 stakes around the perimeter. Then stretch burlap around the stakes, keeping the fabric off the foliage. Secure with twine or staples. For tree trunks, wrap loosely from the base up to the first branches and secure with twine. Avoid wrapping too tightly or sealing top to bottom. Make a ventilated shield, not an airtight tomb. On warm, sunny days, temporarily remove the wrap for light and air if freezing weather isn't expected. For dedicated gardeners looking to extend their growing season or provide superior protection for low-growing plants and winter vegetables, creating a microclimate is an excellent strategy. Cold frames and cloches are essentially miniature, unheated greenhouses that harness the sun's energy to keep the air and soil warmer than ambient. A cold frame is typically a bottomless box with a transparent, hinged lid, often built against the side of a house or shed to capture radiant heat. They are perfect for hardening off seedlings in the spring and protecting hardy greens like kale, spinach, lettuces through much of the winter. Cloches, a term derived from the French word for bell, serve a similar purpose, but on a smaller, individual plant scale, from glass jars to clear plastic milk jugs with the bottom cut off, or purpose-built domes. You simply place the cloche over a single small plant to shield it from frost and wind. Useful for protecting individual tender perennials or giving a young plant a strong start in early spring. Both cold frames and cloches work by trapping solar radiation during the day, which warms the soil and air inside. That stored heat then radiates out slowly overnight, keeping the plant from freezing. Building a simple cold frame is a rewarding weekend project. Construct a low-profile box from untreated lumber, recycled pallets, or cinder blocks. The key component is the top, or light, which should be a transparent material like an old window sash, a sheet of plexiglass, or heavy-duty greenhouse plastic stretched over a frame. Hinge the lid so you can easily prop it open for ventilation, which is absolutely critical. Or arrange straw bales in a rectangle and place an old window on top for a seasonal cold frame. The most common mistake is forgetting to ventilate them. On a sunny day, even in the middle of winter, the temperature inside a sealed cold frame or under a cloche can skyrocket, quickly cooking the plant within, so be careful. Get into the habit of opening in the morning and closing in late afternoon. It may seem counterintuitive to add water to your garden as temperatures plummet, but hydration is a plant's defense against the cold. Water acts as an insulator in soil. Moist soil absorbs more solar heat during the day and holds that heat longer into the night. That stored warmth protects delicate root systems from sudden freezes. A well-hydrated plant is healthier and more resilient for winter dormancy. Water deeply a day or two before a big freeze. Let the water soak down into the root zone. Don't leave the surface saturated where ice can form. Water at the soil around the base. Avoid wet foliage. Wet leaves are much more susceptible to frost damage. Especially important for evergreen trees and for shrubs. They keep losing moisture all winter. Container plants need special attention. Pots freeze faster and dry out quicker. Before a hard freeze, water potted plants well. Group pots together and place them in a sheltered spot, like against your house wall. Don't water frozen ground and don't water too late in the day. Water on frozen soil won't be absorbed and will just freeze on the surface. Best practice? Water in the morning on a mild day so sun and warmth help moisture sink deep. The urge to tidy up the garden in late autumn by giving everything a good, hard prune is strong for many gardeners. However, aggressive pruning just before the onset of winter is one of the most common and detrimental mistakes you can make. When you make a significant cut on a woody plant, it often stimulates a hormonal response that encourages the plant to produce new, tender growth. Any new shoots that emerge in late fall will not have nearly enough time to harden off before the first hard frosts arrive. This delicate new growth is extremely vulnerable to cold and will almost certainly be killed, wasting the plant's energy and creating dead tips that will need to be pruned again in the spring. That being said, not all pruning is off limits in the fall. It is the perfect time for what can be called sanitation pruning. Carefully inspect your trees and shrubs for any branches that are dead, damaged, or showing signs of disease. These should be removed immediately, regardless of the season. Use sharp, clean pruning shears or a saw to make a clean cut just outside the branch collar. Avoid leaving stubs, and do not cut flush against the trunk. Remove one of any branches that are rubbing. Save major structural pruning for late winter or early spring when plants are fully dormant and ready to heal and grow. Not all plants are created equal when it comes to cold tolerance. While many of our garden favorites are hardy enough with the right protection, some simply cannot survive freezing temperatures. These are our tender plants, often tropical or subtropical in origin, which we enjoy in pots and containers throughout the summer. Plants like hibiscus, bougainvillea, citrus trees, and many types of succulents must be brought indoors before the first hard frost arrives. Leaving them outside, even for a single night of deep cold, can be a fatal mistake. Knowing your plant's hardiness is the first step to proper winter care. Before the great migration indoors, inspect each plant for pests like aphids, spider mites, and scale. Treat with insecticidal soap or horticultural oil a week or two before bringing them in. Clean the outside of pots to remove any dirt, cobwebs, and hitchhiking slugs. Indoors means lower light and drier air. Place plants near the brightest window you have and reduce watering frequency. Allow the top inch or two of soil to dry before watering again. Overwatering is the most common houseplant killer. No space? A cool but non-freezing garage, basement, or enclosed porch can overwinter dormant plants like geraniums or fuchsias with just enough moisture. For many gardeners, a heavy blanket of snow can seem like another winter menace, something to be cleared away as quickly as possible. However, a steady layer of snow is one of the best forms of natural insulation. A covering of snow acts much like a thick duvet, trapping a layer of air between the snow and the ground. That trapped air is warmed by geothermal heat from the earth, creating a stable, insulated environment for roots, perennials, shrubs, bulbs. It protects from desiccating winds and extreme temperature swings on bare ground. A few inches of fluffy snow can keep soil near freezing even when air temps drop far below zero. Stable soil temp beats nightly freeze-thaw cycles. So when beds are covered in a light, even layer of snow, leave it be. It's nature's free insulating mulch, protecting the life dormant just beneath the surface. But sometimes snow is a problem. Very heavy, wet snow can build up on branches, especially multi-stem evergreens, arborvitae, yews. The weight can splay branches open or snap them completely. In those cases, remove excess snow gently. Use a broom or a gloved hand, sweeping upward from the bottom to the top to lift weight off gradually. Don't shake or hit branches. Instead, shovel cleared snow onto garden beds, especially around tender roses and shrubs, to add insulation. There you have it, your guide to protecting your outdoor plants naturally this winter. By choosing breathability and natural materials, your garden will thank you next spring. If this guide helped you avoid a winter gardening mistake, give this video a like, subscribe for more Don't Do This advice, and leave a comment below with your best natural winter prep tip. If you want to keep learning the right way to garden and see your plants flourish year after year, hit that subscribe button now. Your journey to becoming a more confident and successful gardener starts here.